However,
I mean, antibiotics like save lives though. So like,
however, period blockers are not forever. You can go off of them and start your puberty right back up. It is not like it is a permanent. It is a permanent thing. Like as soon as you take puberty blockers, you are never getting your puberty again.
But you already admitted you had underlying issues. You got on that shit and it made it worse.
No, and then you
send you to specialist.
Well, yeah, that's a risk with any. That's a risk with any medication you take. I took depression meds and that made my depression worse. Does that mean I shouldn't be taking depression meds?
No, I don't think any kids under 18 should be like taking even birth control. In my opinion, like.
That's common sense. Yeah.
Oh, fuck off, Rover. I fucking hate Rover.
Honestly, that's your opinion. So you can have that opinion, and I think that's a fine opinion to have. You know, if you ever have kids, you know, I hope that if your kids ever deal with like puberty issues or like heavy periods and need birth control or hormone blockers, that you decide to hold up to that. And when your kid suffers,
they're not gonna.
Here's the thing,
though. No. Here's the thing, though. You're not. No. You're not making a good argument right now because here's the thing.
I'm not.
Yeah, because the number of people who take birth control for action. Most people take birth control like to prevent pregnancy. They don't take it because they have heavy periods and stuff like that.
No, I took birth control because I have heavy periods. Everybody I've ever known has been on birth control because of heavy periods.
You're taking all of this too personal. Going back to yourself. We're talking about the majority, not you, the minority.
Yeah, we're talking about.
Okay, I'm not a minority because I know plenty of people, and I have heard plenty of people online who have taken birth control because their periods are too heavy. That's one of the leading reasons why teenagers go on birth control, not because their parents are all like, oh yeah, we don't want you to get pregnant, so you're gonna go on birth control.
Okay,
it's because they are having periods or they are having like pain that is so bad that they want to go on birth control to minimize that amount of pain. Especially with the hormones that they put in fucking food and milk that make like puberty and periods worse.
Yeah.
Like.
So RFK is right.
Wait, what milk are you talking about? Wait, what? What milk are you talking about?
You're saying RFK was right then. Okay. Because like RFK did say that they're poisoning us in the food and stuff, so you're basically agreeing with him right now.
Yes, they are. There has literally been research. This isn't just a bias.
If you agree with that, how do you not know they're poisoning us with the medical system?
This isn't just a bias. There has been research that shows that they are putting stuff in the food that makes puberty start earlier and makes it more worse for people who are born female, and their periods are worse because of the hormones they are putting in their food.
Okay, so we've already...
The chemicals.
So yeah, we just established RFK was right, so we should support him.
Yes, there is research that shows that he is right about that. That they are putting all this food additives and all like processed foods and all the milk.
But you won't believe that hormone blockers can like harm fucking young people.
I said that they can harm children. However, it is not your call to make if the child should go on them or not.
It is not the doctor's call to make. It is not the doctor's call to
Wait.
make.
You were saying that...
It is the doctor's call to make. You're saying that a doctor who has been...
The doctor's bullshitting you. The doctor's bullshitting you.
The doctor just
I've not seen a good doctor in a very long time.
All I'm saying is that...
So you guys just don't believe doctors whatsoever?
I don't.
No.
Every time I don't. Like, why is this nigga telling me that I cannot eat cholesterol?
You look at the healthcare in America. It's all about money. In the UK, in the UK it's free.
Okay, but you should apply what you're saying to me then. Not everybody lives in America, so therefore we shouldn't go off the American education system, you know, since my personal experience, you know, isn't the majority.
We're talking about America.
We're talking about
But
America.
not everybody who goes on hormone blockers and gets help from a doctor to go on hormone blockers lives in America. You're talking about a very small majority of transgender
We're talking about in America. We're not talking about whatever country you were in.
Most of them in the world do.
Invalid, dude.
This is like mostly a Western world thing.
Transgender people live in America, so how are you gonna take 1% of transgender people in
There's not 1%. There's only 1%.
You guys are talking about...
Wait. No,
Okay,
so where does wait. So where does the 99% other live? Where? What country?
Yeah.
Where?
Saudi Arabia?
We have one of the largest
all over the rest
populations in
of the world.
No.
But how's that 1%?
Weird. What culture allows this?
That's America has at least 80% of the trans.
So 1%. So 6% of Americans are transgender. So
yeah, but it's 80% of the world population is fucking transgender that lives.
80% of the transgender population is not in America.
Dude, we're like the second or third biggest country in the world.
Hold up.
Okay,
Russia and
so America. So if you guys are telling me we can't talk about minorities, why are we talking about American transgender specifically. Let's talk about all other countries. You know, countries where the healthcare system is not based on insurance and money.
Trump and Kamala, their policy.
Okay.
I'm not talking about Trump and Kamala. I'm talking about.
Everyone else in the lobby was before you butted in.
Okay, but I wasn't. That's my whole point. Is that you can't base your whole thing off of America because there are transgender people who go on hormone blockers.
The UK.
Hold up.
In the rest of the world,
website.
and their health systems aren't based on money and the doctors making money.
Yes. So
listen to me. I'm from the UK. It literally says on the NHS website.
So yes,
free healthcare.
I agree with you. There are doctors in America.
Let him finish. Yeah, let him finish. Yeah.
It says there is not enough evidence of the safety and clinical effectiveness of puberty blockers for children and young people with gender and gender dysphoria.
Also, did you not say earlier that?
Yeah, it's not a fix for gender dysphoria. You need to go to therapy for gender dysphoria. But what it does is, if the child somehow wants to transition as a child, but if they want to be an adult and they want to transition, it will make it easier to transition when they become an adult if they go on puberty blockers. If they decide by the time they're not an adult, hey, I'm not actually trans, I don't want to transition, you can get off of the puberty blockers, or your puberty will start up by normal. I've done much research on this.
Wait, what happened to your lecture, by the way? Didn't you say you had to go to a lecture?
I have it in 10 minutes.
Okay. You said that 10 minutes ago, but okay, wait, never mind.
I said an hour ago that I have a lecture in an hour.
No, you said an hour. You said an hour ago that it's I have this coming up really soon, in 10 minutes I have to leave and stuff.
No, I said an hour ago that I have a lecture in an hour, and then you guys asked me about the lecture, and then
she didn't specify minutes. No, she didn't specify minutes. So I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I said
I was just curious.
And then you guys decided to debate with me on if me being trans is actually legit or not.
Yeah, sorry.
That's about American politics, and
No, that's fine.
Honestly,
I was just curious, honestly, but
I don't think people's personal identities with gender should be politics.
Yeah, exactly. It shouldn't be government funded. It shouldn't be politics. Yeah.
I agree with you. I don't think the government should fund it, and I'm glad that the government doesn't, because the government does not fund unnecessary surgeries.
That's okay. So we have some common ground then. Okay, that's good.
But then
that's the whole reason why I decided to talk to you guys, is because I like hearing about the other side to arguments like this. I try to be a very open-minded person. I try to see both sides. As someone with very conservative parents,
right.
I
really
often
good.
see the other side.
Enough.
But
my dad is definitely conservative. He would definitely.
My father would have killed me. My father would have killed me. My father would have killed me.
Wait,
my dad definitely would kick me out and disown me if I was trans. That's why I don't tell him.
Oh, I see. So please don't be trans. Please be normal. Please. Please don't disgrace your father and your lineage like this.
I don't really care about my father. My father's an asshole. He's an alcoholic. He's a narcissist. And he's abusive. So.
Why is it always the same thing? Narcissist, alcoholic, abusive.
Dude, it's an underlying issue that nobody takes care of.
See, this is what I mean. Yeah, exactly.
Dude.
It's underlying. It's actually underlying. It's not even
I'm not even trying to be a dick about
it. 9
out of 10 of these issues can be solved in childhood if they just went to the proper therapy. I'm not trying. Everyone has issues. You're always gonna have issues. Everyone does. But
I definitely do understand that part of it. That there's definitely a trauma-based issue with it.
In America, the problem is there's no mental health. Most doctors just throw medicine. No matter what, dude. It's
they make more money.
Fun fact,
they make more money that way.
I was traumatized by my dad and his girlfriends my whole life, and then I tried to kill myself at 15, and he put me in the psych ward, and he put me on antidepressants that made me a zombie. And then once I was 18, he didn't decide to put me on therapy either. He just decided to give me drugs to make it go away. And then once I was 18, I got myself off the drugs. But he's also the one who put me on birth control and puberty blockers, because he didn't want me. He thought that I would be like my mom and I would get pregnant from him.
This is why we say you shouldn't have any of that until you're 18.
Exactly.
Your father abused you as a child. Your father abused you as a child, literally.
Because parents don't always know. Like you say, it is up to the parents, but the parents don't always know best. And obviously, he went to a doctor that did not know best.
Well, I never said the parents
either.
know best. I just said it's up to the parents because you're right.
But that's what you're implying. I know what you're saying. You know, it's up to the parents. It's the parents' right.
It shouldn't be up to the parents, though.
This proves our point. Your dad went to a doctor that didn't know shit. Neither of them knew shit about you. They could have probably helped you a lot more.
What do you mean? I do have depression. I have depression.
Yes, because you're antidepressant pills. You're antidepressant pills.
Wait. Exactly. And instead of trying to send you to mental health, like a psychiatrist, like whatever, they just do pills at you. That was our point.
No, that wasn't. That wasn't the doctor's. That wasn't the doctor's decision. That was actually my dad's decision because he said I don't have enough money to pour into someone who's gonna kill themselves.
Parents shouldn't have that final decision. I'm sorry.
I do agree with you. It should not be. I do agree with you. It should not be the parents' final decision if a child should go through something like that.
Okay. How old were you when your dad put you on antidepressants? Like, how old were you at that time?
I was 15 years old. I remember.
Okay.
It was 2 months after my 15th birthday. After my 15th birthday, or maybe I was 16.
This is why like antidepressants, like hormone blockers, this shit should just be banned until you're 18. In my opinion, like honestly, this is like fucked up. Like it's like child abuse.
So then, do you believe that like teenagers? Hold on, wait. Not to like.
If teenagers are depressed,
so I can see your point. I'm not saying that your point is wrong, but teenagers and kids who
are
have
depressed,
depression
right?
and anxiety and stuff, instead of going on antidepressants, do you believe that they should be getting psychiatric help? And if their parents refuse, like my dad, I'm not done. If their parents refuse to get them psychiatric help, like my dad did, and decides to just go with drugs and drug them up instead, do you think that the government should be in charge of that?
Yes.
Yes.
And also,
so you want to take a more therapeutic approach.
Yeah, like therapy,
to try.
That's how it's supposed to be.
That's always gonna be a soft.
That's how it's supposed to be, and you know what? It isn't.
That's the problem. It's not. That's what we're saying. That people just throw pills. Listen, if you go to therapy and it doesn't help, and you need antidepressant, all for it. You know what I mean? Like if you go like 6 months, nothing's helping. The doctor's like, hey, try this antidepressant, might help. And if it helps, great. But if you just throw pills at people, it's not solving any issues. It's just gonna make you happy for a bit.
No, I completely understand that because I went through that. At 15, my dad put me on antidepressants. He put me on antidepressants, and he like did all that shit, and it didn't help me whatsoever.
I think your situation's a bit tough because one, you've got your parents were shit.
Well, my dad is shit. My mom is not shit. She just couldn't take me because she didn't have the money.
And then the American healthcare is fucking. I didn't even realize it was this bad.
Well, I don't think she's in America.
Wait, Kitten.
I am in America.
She is in America.
My bad.
But yeah, in the UK, if you get diagnosed with depression even at like 15, you're not allowed antidepressants. It's up to the parents because it changes your body, and because your body's still development, and it can have serious side effects.
Yeah, I understand that. My dad was warned that, and he said, well, I don't have the money for therapy, so you're gonna have to go on antidepressants because our insurance company will pay for you to go on antidepressants. So I was on like 3 different meds.
Crazy.
I was on a sleeping med, I was on an anxiety med, and I was on an antidepressant. And then I was also on birth control at the same time because he had a fear that I would get knocked up by a 20-year-old man like my mom did when she was 17.
Shit. Oh my god, your dad?
He's also a pedo, is the thing. He's really into younger women.
Abuse.
That's crazy.
You're just like
traumatic
experience.
It's a hot take, but I think you should have some kind of test before you become a parent. Like you should.
Your mother was groomed.
My mother was groomed. Yeah, she was 16 and 17 when my dad was 19 and 20. And I like your username, by the way. I love Persona. But anyways,
that's not a big age gap, like at all.
My mom got pregnant when she was 17, and my dad was 20, and my dad had to marry her to avoid going to jail for pedophilia.
The 3 years, so he was like 3 years older, basically.
And
I think it's time to execute her father. Thoughts?
And the thing is that it wasn't like he was preying on high school girls. He was held back, so he was in high school.
I don't think he's a pedophile just because a 3 year age gap is not like But there's
Okay, but
like
you're
guys-
still 20 years old and you're dating a 16-year-old. She just
Yeah,
turned 17 when I was
you
when
need to wait till legal age.
they fucked around.
Definitely a predator. We'll just call him a predator because that's definitely.
Also,
definitely...
do you not have to
And
go to your
ever
lecture
since then, after they got divorced when I was like 2, he has always dated women who are like 20, like early to late 20s. And right now he's dating a woman who's like 6 years older than me, I think.
the early 20s basically, so that's why he's a pedophile.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 25, she's 25 and he's 40.
What's wrong with that? I mean, that's.
Yeah, that isn't
age
verified
gap,
as
but
pedophilia, to be honest. As much as I want to defend you right now, like.
Honestly,
he definitely has some
honestly,
taste, and
he
there might be
hasn't
some
dated
underlying
anybody
issues,
who's
but-
underage after my mom, so I wouldn't say pedophilic, but it definitely is kind of scary that he had a teenager and like he was thinking about that, but like
I only think the problem is like you're not recognizing the abuse that you've been through by your father.
Yeah,
like your father is definitely not a good man. Your father's not a good father. Like this shit is
Yeah,
not good.
'cause-
You should seek
like,
seek
instead of-
therapy.
no, I definitely
Instead of going for, like-
I go to therapy for it, and I definitely do acknowledge it. But I have to go
instead
because I'm
of-
actually in my lecture.
All right, have fun. But tell your professor I said hi. Okay, never mind.
No,
Okay.
her bad childhood has definitely affected this nigga.
Yeah, that was all her childhood. I feel like it wasn't even like
Yeah.
shit about being like trans
No,
with her. She's not even
Most
trans.
of us
So
were
like,
saying a majority, you know what I mean? And she just kept bringing it back to.
Yeah.
Herself,
Yeah.
She just kept
But
bringing it
no,
back.
no.
I have went through this. I did.
Like-
I'm
What
so
about
right with
everything
those.
she went through?
Yo, and she kept like screaming the whole time, and she wasn't letting anyone finish like talking. And I'm like, bro, she's like got underlying issues. Like, calm down. Like, why are you screaming? This is a Overwatch.
It's too
Like,
personal, dude. That's the
Yeah,
problem.
like,
It's
so-
everything.
Yeah,
Switching
that
gender will fix it.
that was
He was,
Montana, what do you think about that
legitimately,
since
like-
you're a hospital PTSD worker?
honestly, I've been muted this whole time. I didn't want to say anything. That shit was kind of annoying.
Yeah, she kept screaming and just like, you know, just
Never
like
let
getting
anyone
mad and like.
But does she want to be trans because she's trauma bonded
No,
or trauma?
Yeah, no, and then she's the thing. She said like she went through a hard time because her dad put her on, you know, like
What the
hormone
fuck you mean,
blockers
W
and all that
dad?
shit.
No,
What the fuck?
Nah, you actually trip it out. You trip it out. W dad, he was genuinely abusing her.
Yeah, no, and then the thing is, she's like, oh no, I think kids should be on antidepressants. I think they should take, you know, puberty blockers and all this shit. Even though
But
she
it's
went
not even
through
her fault that she's saying all that. It's her father's
No,
fault.
no. The
This
best part about
messed
it,
her up.
no, the best part about it was she said she had medical reasons for taking those, but then at the end it wasn't medical reasons. It's because her dad
Yeah, it was.
forced her. So what?
No, Michael was absolutely right. Like, she needs a good touch of a lovely man who will actually treat her body and her right.
Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, bro. Like for real. Like that's the issue. Like I can tell she's never had like a like a real man. Like
She needs
that-
to love herself.
She hasn't had a father. Fuck all that. She hasn't had a father.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. It started with the father because like her dad was like basically like not trying to be like too lazy to be a good father. So he was like, okay, I'm gonna put her on birth control. I'm gonna like send her to a psych ward. He's trying to do everything like except for the bare minimum of just being a good dad. Like her dad was like the laziest like father. Like he was like, yeah, I don't want to deal with this bit. Like, you know, this my daughter. Like I don't want to raise her. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna send her to a psych ward, put her on hormone blockers, all this shit. Like that's just lazy parenting. That's child abuse too. So it's like fuck that.
And why didn't her mother have any say in that?
Wait, what?
Because her mom didn't have her shoes too broke or something like that. She
Yeah,
said.
financially not secure.
Yeah, I know, but like I'm saying like her dad, like he literally did everything except be a good dad. Like he was literally too lazy to like father trying to like be a good, you know, like raise her as a father. So I feel like that's why he sent her to like the psych ward and did all this shit, like put her on hormone blockers, antidepressants.
The stuff that messed her up, she's suggesting other people do. It's kind of confusing.
But like, doesn't that just seem like lazy parenting? It's like lazy parenting. It's like I'm not gonna like raise my kid, so I'm gonna like my kid has issues, right? So like, if my kid has issues, instead of trying to like help them myself, I'm gonna like put them on antidepressants just so I don't have to talk to them. I'm gonna like send them to a psych ward, like here.
It wasn't
Like
even
that.
just antidepressants. It was like every fucking pill he found. It felt like every pill the doctor was like, hey, this might help. He's like, give it to me. Give it to me.
And she was 15.
Tic Tac might help. Give her Tic Tac. Give her Tic Tac, dude.
Yeah, she was like.
Yeah, you like wilding out for no reason. It's not even her fault. It's actually her father's fault.
Yeah, her dad like fucked her up. Yeah. That's why she thinks like. She thinks it's like a good idea for kids to be taking this stuff, even though she suffered from it herself.
She just doesn't realize like what's been going on. So.
Yeah.
No.
I think
At least she agrees with Jenna's.
She's not a tranny. She is not a tranny.
No, yeah, no.
She's still a woman. She is still very much a woman.
Oh yeah, same with the other person that said she wanted a dick to jerk off.
What the fuck?
No, that's not her. That was Love Boo.
The Love Bug.
No,
Yo,
I know,
that was like an edgy, bro. That was an edgy 17-year-old girl, bro. Like if that, that was just cringe. I'm not gonna lie. And then she was like, "Oh, you want me so bad?" I'm like, "Shut the fuck up, bitch." Like as soon as I heard that she was like, you know, into like, "Oh, I'm gonna transition. I'm 17 and shit." I'm like, "Yeah, fuck that." Like no one wants you.
Like, I would really want someone to explain how being a man is better. Especially now.
Everybody thinks men have so many more. We get paid more. Remember the age gap? The age gap.
No, that's literally been proven wrong so many times.
You can't tell those kind of people that they will never believe you, dude. They will.
So guys literally outperform women, like even in the same jobs. Like
it's not even about outperforming. It's about they work more. That's the underlying thing. They work more.
Yeah.
They make more overall.
Exactly. Yeah.
That makes sense because.
It's like when I don't remember who said it, but like the most logical thing is if they could pay women less, why wouldn't all companies just hire women?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, why wouldn't you know what I mean? You know how much money you would save if it was true that you paid them 25 cents less per dollar? They save that's 25% more in their pockets.
And Google paid all their female staff slightly more because of this whole thing.
Yeah.
Which.
Yeah, I mean, there's like this whole affirmative action shit, like there's like majority of college students today are like women. They're like females, like most college students.
That's great.
And it's like they're being educated wrong. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like even after like most college students are female, they still can't make more money. It's like they still you know underperform compared to guys. Like statistically speaking.
It's not
that must just be America because there's some really fucking good women over here.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying in general. There's always going to be exceptions to the rule, but like I'm just saying, like statistically speaking, like guys work more. They get like.
Let's give it to
bitches.
They get more sales and shit. Like even in sales, like look at its sales. Like look at male like salesmen versus like female salesmen. Like who gets more? Who sells more products? Like statistically, guys, you know, the male ones sell more.
Yeah, and again, this is a fucked up example, but just like streamers, that's why hot women are you know, they're more popular in streaming because people want to see hot women more than men.
They just start with tits, literally.
Exactly. Yeah.
Literally, like, everyone gets mad, but I'm not trying to sexualize. They're sexualizing themselves. Like you can't tell.
Exactly.
The
if
top
you're a
10
good-looking woman,
aren't like with their tits out.
And then you guys know that male doctors score higher on the MCAT than like female doctors. And that's like still to this day, like guys, they just outperform women. It's just like I'm not trying to be misogynist or anything. I'm just like reading actual like statistics.
Even in biology, I mean, that's the whole trans athlete debate. You know what I mean? Like men, it's fucked up, and it's not always the case. But I would say like 98% of the time, men will be stronger than women. It's just biology. You know what I mean? Like, you have the same scenario, same exercise routine, same food, same diet. The man's usually gonna outperform him physically. Maybe not mentally, but you know what I mean. Physically, they're gonna outperform him almost every time.
I honestly, I think it's like in general, I think it's both honestly because like I said, like I was reading this article about like male doctors versus female doctors, and statistically, the male doctors, if you look at like their MCAT scores and like they would get like just higher GPAs, higher like test scores and stuff like that. And it's like what's up with that? Like, you know, like why aren't like I feel like the girl doctor should be getting like higher scores or should be getting like the same, like, you know, they should be performing at the same level, but like they statistically they don't. And it's like, what's the reason behind that? Like they're gonna say, oh, it's because, you know, women don't get opportunities, but like women do get opportunities. Like majority of women today are like majority of college students today are women, and they have like whole affirmative action like programs specifically to balance it out. They're like, we need to have 50% doctors male, 50% doctors female. Even if the female doctors are getting lower test scores, let's still hire them because we need to give women opportunities. It's like this is the this is the society we live in today. And even after that, it's like they still like underperform compared to the male doctors. It's like, huh, that's interesting. It's like, obviously.
Less gender though, and more person to person.
Oh no, I'm not. Yeah, but I'm saying like overall like statistics, like just in general. I'm not saying like one person to one person. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like.
What about the statistics with black women?
Wait, what?
What about black women in statistics? Don't they do like a lot worse as well? Like hate to black women.
Yeah, statistically, yeah.
Yeah, minorities
but the
always.
debate they have is minority. They say it's from how they lived, everything.
Yeah.
So here's the thing: if
that sounds fucked up, it's their upbringing and the work ethic that's hammered into them. You know what I mean?
But if that was like, if it was like just them living in poor neighborhoods and stuff like that, they would just base it off like for the affirmative action. They would base it off of like the economic aspect. Like they would only look at your income and stuff like that. They would look at like your household income and all that. But then they take it a step further and then they look at your race as well, which I don't think is a good. Like I feel like that's.
You should not.
Yeah, no, it's the same thing as like not hiring someone because they're black. You're only hiring them because what if there's like a more qualified white person,
their race,
Hispanic, or Asian?
Yeah, it's like if you're gonna stand by that argument, like, oh, black people, they underperform because they're living in poor neighborhoods and stuff, then why not only look at the when you're like hiring, like when you're like accepting college students and stuff like that, why not just ask about like the household income and stuff like that? But like, why do you also have to ask about the race? Like that's like kind of sus right there. It's like what's the real reason you're asking?
Putting race and gender into consideration for that kind of stuff is
minorities in your company, you're kind of racist now. At least in America. I don't know about anywhere else. You know what I mean? In America, if you don't have a lot of colored people, quote unquote, then you're racist. You're just a racist company.
Yeah, that's the same.
Like, think about it. Yeah, like think about it like this. Like, if you're a poor black kid and you're in a ghetto and whatever, but you're still like legitimately smart, you're still hardworking. You're like, if you're living in a world where companies are hiring just based on merit, you're still gonna get a job. If you're living in a world where universities are only like accepting students based on merit, like it doesn't matter if you're black, if you're like, or even like I said, like if they just asked about like the economic aspect, like asked about the household income and stuff like that, you could make a good argument for that. Like, yeah, this kid's poor, like he doesn't have as many resources, so it's you can logically argue like, yeah, that's why their performance is not that good. But as soon as you bring race into it, it's like, why are you adding another factor? Like, why are you asking about the race? Like, that's just like isn't that the definition?
Race should have nothing to do with, like, it doesn't affect your ability to learn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't
exactly. And the reason they still ask about it is because I feel like they just like they know it's not a factor, but they still want to hire more black people. Like they're like, this is how we're gonna do it.
Yeah, no, like I said, at least in America, if you don't have a lot of minorities, like I said, your company's almost canceled nowadays. It's just like, yeah, don't like if Google hired nothing but white men, they'd probably be like, cancel. Fuck, we're gonna use fucking Bing. We're not gonna use Google anymore.
And here's the thing, like in California, like the liberalist state ever, like they basically banned asking about race for school admissions and stuff, right? Like universities. And after they did that, like 60% of like the good universities there had like Asian students. Like after they banned like asking about race, like at UC Berkeley, like 60% of the students there are like Asian, and that happened after they banned the race question. They're like, okay, it doesn't make sense to ask about race. We're only going to ask about like economic situation. We're going to ask about how much money their parents make, but we're not going to. Yeah, because that's actually you can argue that that's a good thing to ask about, because if they're poor, then yeah, they're not gonna they're gonna have less resources to perform and stuff. Yeah. But yeah, like in California, they still ask about like your financial situation and stuff like that, like how much money your parents make when you're applying for university. But they stopped asking about like the race. They don't ask like what race you are. And as soon as they started that in California, like 60% of the students became Asian after that, like in like UC Berkeley and stuff like that.
So racist when you say it, dude. It's just the fucking Asians.
No, I'm just.
It's because they're drilled. No, but see, that's kind of the point. It's because they're from a young age. They're taught. Most Asian families are like, you need to work hard. You need to get a good job, and blah blah blah. You need to become a doctor.
Yeah, exactly.
At a young age. Definitely not healthy, but you know